The movie begins as two buses full of schoolgirls are driving through the woods down the highway. While everyone engages in cheerful conversations, Mitsuko, a loner, writes a poem instead. Her friends urge her to put down her notebook and enjoy the scenery. As she bends to pick up her fallen pen, a gust of wind slices through the buses, bisecting everyone else on board. When Mitsuko looks up, the bus roof is gone, and her friends are missing their upper halves. A second gust of wind attacks, but Mitsuko ducks just in time. When the bus stops, she gets off and runs down the highway through the remains of her friends. A group of 4 girls walks ahead of Mitsuko. She pushes one to the ground, saving her from the same fate as the others. Moments later, the girl dies trying to save some cyclists. Alone again, Mitsuko runs until she reaches a river, where several dead schoolgirls' bodies are washed up on the bank. She cleans her face, changes into a clean uniform, and starts wandering along the highway again. After hours of aimless walking, she arrives at an all-girls school. Strangely, her uniform matches theirs, and the girls seem to recognize her. Mitsuko doesn't mention the earlier massacre or ask them any questions. Too stunned to react, Mitsuko is surprised when her girlfriend Aki approaches. Though they haven't seen each other in a while, Aki insists they've always attended the same school. When a gust of wind hits, Mitsuko panics and falls, but it does no harm. Aki helps her up and walks her to school. Baffled, Mitsuko rationalizes the morning's events as a lucid dream. She trusts Aki's assertion that they've always attended this school. Alone in a classroom, Mitsuko confides in Aki about the wind incident that killed her friends, causing her to hyperventilate. Aki helps Mitsuko by taking her to the window to show her that the wind is harmless. Mitsuko calms down after feeling it. The couple share a smile, finding the situation absurd. Aki jokes about Mitsuko possibly having amnesia but brushes it off. Later, they join their friends and decide to skip class for the day. Laughing and playing, the 4 of them run into the woods. Mitsuko's mental state is now completely different from a few hours ago. She forgets her past life, treating it as a mere dream. The group pauses to catch their breath. As they reach a riverbank, Aki and Mitsuko share a look, deepening their love for each other. Mitsuko shares her dream with the girls. One suggests she slipped into another universe, but they think she's joking. Then they spot a mattress nearby and start a playful pillow fight. Feathers scatter as they exchange looks of admiration. Mitsuko spots a smiling lesbian couple nearby, likely the owners of the mattress and pillows, but they vanish before she can ask. A girl suggests shaking things up to alter reality and surprises them by flashing her underwear, prompting laughter from the group. Mitsuko ponders deeply on the girl's words, considering them significant. Later, back at school, Mitsuko and Aki are in class when Mitsuko spots a pillow on the floor. As she bends to pick it up, chaos erupts as the teacher opens fire with a machine gun, killing everyone except Mitsuko. The teacher declares their punishment for skipping class, preparing to execute Mitsuko too. However, 2 friends intervene, sacrificing themselves to help her flee. Before passing away, the earlier girl urges Mitsuko to unleash if needed. Mitsuko and the surviving girls flee the school, dodging the teacher's gunfire. Though many perish, 5 manage to reach safety outside. Tragically, a deadly gust of wind claims the lives of the others, leaving Mitsuko alone once more. Before their demise, the girls entrust everything to Mitsuko. Chased by the wind, Mitsuko dashes for minutes until she reaches a town bustling with people. Ignoring the crowd, she pushes through, relentlessly running until she reaches a police station. There, she encounters a female officer who, initially alarmed by Mitsuko's silence, perceives her as erratic when she only gestures instead of speaking. Suddenly, the officer addresses her as Keiko. Mitsuko is stunned when she gazes into a mirror and sees a completely different face staring back at her. The cop reveals herself to be Tomoko, a friend of Keiko's, who eagerly discusses Keiko's impending wedding in a few hours. Keiko, still reeling from the sudden transformation, is utterly bewildered. Unable to gather her thoughts, Keiko surrenders to Tomoko's lead. They hop into a car bound for the chapel where Keiko's wedding is set to take place. Already reeling from the morning's events, things escalate when a group of women trail their car, treating Keiko like a celebrity and expressing their enthusiasm for the impending wedding. At the chapel, Keiko is greeted warmly by numerous women. When she enters the changing room, she's taken aback to find Aki preparing for the wedding. It's almost too much to comprehend, leaving Keiko speechless. Attempting to inquire, she's hushed by Aki's secretive whisper, urging her to remain silent for the moment. Aki assures Keiko that she'll explain everything later, hinting at something Keiko isn't aware of. Afterwards, Keiko is adorned in a wedding dress, while the girls rave about the groom's looks. In a sudden realization, Keiko understands she can't marry a man when her heart belongs to Aki. Sensing Keiko's distress, Aki dismisses the other girls to give them privacy. Alone together, Aki addresses Keiko by her true name and insists she follow her lead. Though Keiko remains in the dark, she trusts Aki implicitly. As Keiko prepares, a group of girls enter, inviting her to the chapel. In a startling move, Aki swiftly dispatches them all, using the moment to instruct Keiko in combat. Prior to escorting her down the aisle, Aki gives Keiko a broken glass for self-defense. Keiko proceeds with the glass instead of flowers, as the all-female guests cheer her on. At the end of the aisle awaits an upright coffin holding her groom. Suddenly, the guests begin behaving inappropriately, undressing and taunting Keiko, pushing her toward the coffin. As it opens, her prospective husband is unveiled as a repulsive creature with a pig's head atop a man's body. Pressured by the crowd, Keiko is coerced to kiss him, but she reacts by using the glass to stab the creature. Enraged, Keiko also takes the lives of some of the surrounding girls. Aki intervenes just in time to rescue her, but they encounter the duo of teachers from their former school. After a fierce battle, they flee the church. Aki keeps the teachers occupied while Keiko runs until she encounters a girl in a tracksuit, halting her escape. The girl addresses her as Izumi and extends an invitation to a marathon. Glancing at herself in the mirror, Keiko is startled to find that she's transformed into someone new once more now she's Izumi, a celebrated marathon runner. Surrounded by adoring fans, she joins her friends as a massive crowd cheers her on during the race. Her friends disclose that she's been a talented runner since middle school, but Izumi remains bewildered by their claims, no longer seeking answers. Gradually, she begins to relish the moment, noticing her school friends running beside her. However, her enjoyment is short-lived as the pig groom and the teachers from before begin to pursue her from behind. The girls implore Izumi to be courageous, as she's the sole hope for escaping this world. Racing faster than ever, Izumi eventually arrives at a cave, where she's discovered by a fellow schoolgirl. This girl leads Izumi to a group of similarly eerie girls, their faces obscured by their hair. Suddenly, the girl attempts to end Izumi's life, insisting that if Izumi doesn't perish, everyone else will. Arriving in the nick of time, Aki rescues her girlfriend. She instructs Izumi to utter the words, "I am Mitsuko." Following her directive, Izumi transforms back into her true self as Mitsuko. The final task to escape this world involves Mitsuko pulling two strings emerging from Aki's wrist, which will sever her in half. Reluctant to harm her beloved, Mitsuko hesitates, but Aki compels her to pull the strings. Reluctantly, she complies, and Aki is severed in two, allowing Mitsuko to escape into the real world. She finds herself in a restaurant where the first male characters of the movie are visible. Venturing deeper, she encounters a group of leering men ogling a poster featuring her, Izumi, and Keiko. She discovers she's in a lecherous city known as Men's World, inhabited solely by men engrossed in a brutal 3D survival game called Tag. Mitsuko, Izumi, and Keiko are the only playable characters, each representing her. Recognizing her, a man informs Mitsuko that she's in the future. Mitsuko faints and wakes up in a cavernous area, where all the game characters are displayed like mannequins. As she explores, she encounters an elderly man playing a game on his TV. He discloses that she's 150 years into the future. Back when she was in high school, she was someone he greatly admired. Following her demise, he obtained Mitsuko and her friend's DNA, creating clones for his 3D game, designed for male entertainment. A younger version of the old man emerges and undresses, inviting her to join him in bed. He reveals that the ultimate stage of the game fulfills his greatest desire, to be intimate with her. As the man moves to touch her, Mitsuko recalls her friend's advice to break the illusion by doing something unconventional. Acting on it, she lashes out at the man, condemning his treatment of women as mere objects. She grabs a pillow and tears it apart, her fury turning the once white feathers a deep shade of red. Finally, she seizes the old man's cane and does the unthinkable, shocking him, as her death wasn't intended in the game. In the concluding scene, Mitsuko emerges alone in a snowy field, realizing it's all over, signifying she will never have to be trapped in the game again. Please subscribe, turn on notifications, and leave a like to support the channel. Thanks for watching.